Hey Laura, welcome. Great that you could join such a short notice.
Former designers.
Yeah, from
So anywhere. Just,
Yeah, so many choices.
oh boy.
Maybe on the outside is easier. I don't know.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hallo.
Gaan we alle dagen.
Mike, what can you do with some?
No, I'm told you.
That's what I was hoping.
You are. Alle opkomst, Erik. De winnaar van HASIF.
Hi, Mina. Yes, so we're gonna wait, I think, a few minutes still.
André, do you want me to kick it off? Or?
If you want, yeah, because more people know you for sure.
Yeah. So welcome everyone.
Welcome.
At New Designers. Hey Peter.
Hi.
So today it's all about the Incubator. We did some research.
Yes, a lot.
Andreas spent almost 5 weeks diving into incubators, the existing world, also the history of incubators at TUAS.
Yes.
Problem statements, solutions. So the idea is that this is the first presentation of 3. So there will be 2 more.
Yes.
And basically, I think the story will develop.
Yes.
And the idea is that you are here as stakeholders very early on in the process. So there's plenty of time to steer this initiative. With new designers, it sort of grew from the time in COVID. For people that don't know me, I'm Tim. I'm the founder of New Designers, which is a learning company. We make digital solutions. And what we've noticed is that a lot of teachers and sometimes students come to us with the question, can you make education better? And
yes.
Basically, that's in short why we're here. And in the meantime, this place looks just like the future working space of our students. And here also developers, like software engineers and designers work together to build digital solutions. So this is the context. I'll leave now the word to you, Andreas.
Yes,
you prepared a really nice presentation. So have fun.
Yeah.
And,
you guys. So welcome. I'm also going to introduce myself in a minute. So welcome to the presentation where we're going to show you the glimpse of today, not the future of TUAS, because everything what we need is already here. We just digested it. So let's start. What we're going to today talk about. So first intro, who we are again as new designers, what's the main problem, and of course discovering the problem, research, definition, concepts. And so my name is Andreas. I'm a 3rd-year student of UXD program, and it's my thesis project, and I am a lead UX designer here, and Tim is coaching me from New Designers, and also I have amazing support from Aruzan, which are the 2nd-year students from UXD program, right, as well, and Hannes online. And it's fantastic team. It's really inspiring, so it's cool. And we are new designers, so we are full service learning environment in TUAS. We design, we develop brand identities, digital solutions, websites, apps, mostly for internal use cases, but also external. And what is NextEd? NextEd is our future ID, which is a student run as well, sister company to New Designers as Incubator. We focus on educational technology. Where we do research, education, and business. It's all connected, and we support the ventures at our school. So if we know that now, why are we here today? So today we are here because at TUAS, there's a lack of support of structure for ventures and entrepreneurial spirit. And 63% of all ventures either run out of money after 6 months or are put into the fridge by internal bureaucracy. And we want to change that. But is this the real problem? Well, the real problem is that TUAS is an organization with really low self-esteem and weak entrepreneurial spirit. And here's why. And why? Because there's lack of centralized entrepreneurial community and spirit itself. And the marketing sucks. So we have a lot of things, a lot of people that do so many things, but nobody knows about them. And this lack of learning and development model. So there's no clear structure how we can attract and retain the talent and develop the companies. And the clarity of funding is not clear as well. So teachers get the grants, but even for them, it's not that clear. And we also want to offer this for students. And TUAS breeds bureaucracy and lack of community space with energy. And this is also what we want to change to show that the TUAS is innovative space and we do a lot. And we're not closed in silos. So everybody's separated behind the wall. We don't like that. So let's look what else failed also. So Enterprise in Zoetermeer, which was our closest incubator, and I foresee in Leiden, they all failed, but why? So there was lack of commercial appeal. It was located on the second floor, away from people even knowing that there's something happening, and the half of the building was mostly empty, which was bad PR. And that's because of the bad PR. Not many companies were even interested in approaching the incubators. And it was isolated from academic life. So students as well as teachers need to travel far, and that wasn't helpful for this as well to succeed. And yeah, and again, the integration was lacking, and we want to change that. It's very important for us. So there's no hope, right? There is, but let's first see what we discovered in the field. So Belgium. So I traveled to Belgium for 3 weeks. So actually most of the time of this phase to see how they do it, how it differs to the Netherlands. So first big thing was that 86% of all incubators have frameworks of development. So there's a clear and steady guidance of the students and teachers how they can develop their ventures. And here at the picture, you have a startup, which is academically connected to the Vrije Universiteit of Belgium. And yeah, and I visited also 3 others in Ghent and Leuven, and another one more commercial in Brussels as well. So it was a lot of talking to people and interviews. And here are certain findings. So the community is very important in Belgium, and the events. So it's like the breathing, the energy, the veins of the ecosystem there. Also, it's more tailored. So there's the guidances and mentorship are tailored to what industry you come from. So be it food tech, be it ed tech, they have it in place, so it's easier. As well, so again, the clear phases of development with time race, it's easy to digest and distribute the funding and mentorship. So there's focus and the distribution, both for the people leading the incubator and ones that want to join it. And they're more general, so they're more generalistic rather than the Netherlands, which we're gonna find soon. But they focus a lot on edtech. Like whole Belgium itself is huge on edtech, and you can see it here on the map that literally 90% of the distribution is on the north part of the Belgium, and there's a lot of investment going on year by year, and the growth is humongous. So they are very big in our nearby countries when it comes to edtech already, and growing really fast. And currently a bit bigger when it comes to the Netherlands, which you're gonna see, but there is huge opportunity coming up in the Netherlands as well. So that's our research, a lot of data, simplified still from the whole run in the Brussels and the Belgium. So a lot of interviews, 5 hours at least. So it was a lot of fun. And now the Netherlands. So the Netherlands, I also traveled all over the Netherlands. So Utrecht, Leiden, Amsterdam, Rotterdam. So a lot of all the major points in our region in the Netherlands I explored. And the first conclusion was that all the countries neighboring, like Belgium, have the more global, let's say, incubators, where ours are really regional. So Utrecht has its own region, Amsterdam is serving its own region, and the Hague has no incubator by itself, which is also a nice opportunity that we have to position ourselves. And the first finding is that many incubators resemble co-working spaces more than community hubs. And that's also a big problem, for example, for Plant in Leiden, where they are many times misinterpreted as co-working space provider and not even incubator. So that's also what we can provide, this beaming community in already super high developing city of The Hague with huge dreams. And a lot of incubators focus on high tech, so like medtech, biotech, robotics, engineering. A lot of this is in the Netherlands. Not a lot of edtech, not a lot of fintech. This is what we could focus on here, especially that there's already huge demand. And yeah, the phases are not so clear. So when you're a student or a teacher, you don't know which one to pick. For example, in Leiden, they have a lot of courses to start high, but there's not like this clear, okay, this is step 1, step 2, we're gonna guide you. It's more messy. We wanna acknowledge that. And yeah, and of course, edtech and fintech are neglected. And yeah, the funding support and connection to investors is really strong in the Netherlands. So that's a good thing. And in edtech landscape in the Netherlands, so we can say it looks really green. We are at the bottom for now, but we are the fastest growing when it comes to educational technology. Already 400 startups and 150 million euros in investment, and value is growing already. So we grow faster. So we definitely, this is a huge opportunity space for us. And yeah, that was also a lot of research. It was really nice. So what is the conclusion? So in Belgium, there's a really huge importance of community. And in Netherlands, incubators many times serve just the purpose of co-working rental spaces, which is quite opposite and interesting of the whole idea of incubator, what it really should be. And yeah, it's more silos. So again, not something we try to avoid because we already have it enough. The clear phases in Belgium, they exist with tailored guidance. So we know where you're starting and where you're ending. Here they are, but they are more messy, more tailored for scale-ups, not so much for people who want to start. And some even incubators don't accept the students at all, or teachers even. So, and yeah, the development of the mindset. So what we mean by that is when you want to start your business, you need to learn a lot about how business works and what are the intricacies of it. And in Belgium, it's more fostered how to do this. But in the Netherlands, only Utrecht offers a program for development of how to even check if the entrepreneurship is for you. And that's something we really can also tap in, for example, with StartHub, which already have a lot of minors and knowledge. And again, Belgium is more generalistic. Netherlands is very specialistic. Every region specializes in each different thing. And The Hague has nothing specialized yet, which in our case could be edtech at its best. So they're both equally, more or less, Belgium a bit better when it comes to certain things. So that's the conclusion. But my personal reflection is while visiting the Belgian incubators, especially if it's such a strong innovation energy, and it made me feel like what we're doing there will change the world tomorrow. And even in the Netherlands, in the bigger ones, even if they were like a little bit more siloed, it still was this beaming. So what we try to do is not like to us that feels a bit too formal, too bureaucratic, really slow. We try to bring this energy, inspiration, and we are after a space where ideas are free to breathe and grow, a place that feels less like a corporate box office right now and more like a launchpad for dreams. And that's our vision. So so we need incubator, right? So we need incubator. Yeah, and here's why. So the teachers. So that's our main market when it comes to EdTech. We already had 20 plus and more every week, every month approaching teachers from within to us alone, wanting to start our venture, but they don't know how. They don't know exactly how to do this properly. And we already did the 6+ successful EdTech products here at New Designers. So there is demand, there is market within our organization. And it would be even more if this was more visible, the marketing wouldn't suck, and we would have amazing framework to make it happen for more people. And of course, students won't make the incubator alone live and breathe. We need more people. We need also students, which is more general market, because of course we can't tailor hardware development and robotics, but what we can is what a lot of people want to do is digital products, and a lot of them also are interested in educational technology. So there's already in our research that's already there's been done a research to us about the interest in entrepreneurship, and there's already 3,000 students alone interested in this, and 20% already developed their businesses after graduation within 5 years, even without the specialized incubator. So you can already imagine if the marketing was better and there was specialized space, how much more we would have to offer to us. So, and of course, the challenge is successful entrepreneurship is not successful learning. So we as we are learning institution when teach people not only make business. And that's tough sell because a lot of the incubators, even in our neighboring regions, are more commercial. They are less trying to put teaching first. And that's how we can also differentiate each other, that we are first a student-run education incubator. So, and that's why we need the model. And because we are very special by itself that we will be student-run only, and also education first, requires this special approach, which we can find definitely not in traditional model of learning, which is right now what we use that to us. So it's also that's how we teach. So we first teach, then it's doing, then it's how we felt about it, and then it's reflection. So that works, always have worked, and that's great, but it's not perfect if we want to also have businesses. So again, this alone fosters learning, not the entrepreneurship. So if we want to have the balance, we need the new approach, which is our still in work in progress, the NextEd model of learning. And basically, it's a combination of already developed frameworks by scientists. So Kolb, which is the center of the whole framework, which is a bit reversed process. So it's experience first. So you just experiment, you just do from what you know, and then you reflect, teach, and do, and again and again. And that is supported by the Lean Launchpad, which is our net and our coaching cushion. So you're not left alone, you're not stranded as a teacher and a student when you want to develop something. So again, by our beautiful coaches here at New Designers or entrepreneurs from StarHub, providing resources like funding and network and constant feedback. So you're not left alone and you know how to do things. And on top of that, you are evaluated by the Ocean, which is the big 5 traits, which are mindset traits, which we come back to the mindset thing. That is really important for a successful entrepreneurial journey and learning as well, which land again on the cushion of support of your learning. So that's our still work in progress model and the first draft. And now let's understand what makes the great incubator, because now we know what we more or less need as institution, but in general, we need to understand what is ideal offering for us as well by this incubator trifecta. And it's, of course, the course community. We want to foster this very, very strongly. We already have passive with amazing events, but we need to bring it together by events, workshops, and the co-working space will be at the beginning, new designers for our incubator and coaching. So community is at its core. And then organization itself. So it's really important to have a lean team, small team, just like at New Designers. It's a student run with just a few coaches overseeing action. And it's really going fast. So in Utrecht, they also have small teams, just 5 ladies. They all manage this huge incubator, but that prevents the conflicts of leadership and also improves the space of development. And again, the framework of development, very crucial, like with our model. So it's easy to know how we approach every case and every person. There's funding for now internal, but we're looking to support from external investors and the municipality of The Hague as well. And some support of the new emerging technologies like ChatGPT, AI matching to support coaches to give them more time to grow our ventures. And for people that want to join us, we offer the tailored guidance with our framework with coaches, mindset buildings, again, the entrepreneur mindset with our partners here within us, helping them to know if business is something for them or not. And also mentorship, which again comes back to coaches and co-founder matching, because it's also the research show, it's really important for many people to start their business not alone. So, and many times it helps to distribute their workload. So we can also offer that. And that's the incubator trifecta, and that's us, that we try to be this perfect one for anybody from within our organization and external. So now that we know what makes great incubator, let's see how we can position ourselves, right? So we've seen all of those incubators data, but that's actually how the market looks like from the ones that I interviewed. So how we can make it, well, we are very academic and specialists. So we want to focus on edtech, could be also another branch like fintech and overall the digital products. We can't compete with YesDelft, which is very hardware engineering oriented, but they are very commercial as well. So they don't even accept students. So that's not even our target audience anymore. And we have more generalistic, which is more Brussels and Belgium. So they offer for everybody a lot. And mostly they are commercial, but some are academic as well. So what we try to be, the startup of Brussels, but here in The Hague with more specialization and in-house made model. So it really works in our use case. Because Utrecht is somewhere in between. They are really good in the region, but they can't compete with us because they're really far away, and also this is a bit different market where they also focus on medtech and climate tech. So again, a lot of engineering. And yeah, again, the analysis. So all of our competitors now in the Netherlands have academic connection, but we want to have fostered the strongest one. And also the edtech specialization, which we only fully can offer. And also, yeah, and the small agile team, very, very important. Again, Utrecht only has this one, and that can help us. And custom-made learning model, only YesDelft from our research show they have in-house model, but obviously for them, it's one for engineering. And in our case, will be for learning focused. And again, funding, personalized mentorship, and a lot of events for networking that can make us stand out on our regional playfield. And here within us, right, all of our friends, to our partnership ecosystem, that's all of us, Hasse, New Designers, MKB, DG Werkplaats, Miners, WIT, and HINT. And we all come together by this new initiative, which is NextEd, our incubator, where we want to promote all of our ventures and finally make it visible, marketable to the world, to us microcosmos. And yeah, that's how we want to combine and have those flows so everybody can know where to go from us and support each other. So now that we know who we are, let's see finally what we can offer, and those are the concepts. So first one is 4-week online introductory program to entrepreneurship in collaboration with StartHub, which they can combine their knowledge from their minors about entrepreneurship, and with us create a 4-week crash course, so like online lectures 2-3 times a week with assignments for students and teachers, so they can really tap their fingers into business or know, like, is this something for me? Can I handle this? And that's really, really important for us to also have. And for example, here in Paris, Station F, they have such program and the whole platform, which of course we're not going to make the whole platform, but they also support this. And Utrecht, they have 4-week online program, but it's the only one in the Netherlands from our research, and it's still in the very, very early stages of development. But they collaborate with Leda. Leda is already interested in that. So again, there is no competition in this space, and a huge demand for just quick to understand if the entrepreneurship is something for us or not. And the second concept, which is our main regardless focus, the framework of development for new designers, for our incubator, how to take the teacher and the student coming with the problem and idea throughout the journey so they can successfully create their business and venture, while also showing them that they have full or most ownership about the business they made. So that's also really important for us to determine the ownership, because right now to us, whatever is created within to us stays with to us, and we really need to make businesses and not only entities with our organization. And of course, the clear phases of development, preventing burnout of the funds provided by our school, and the grants for students as well, and external funding, which is important. The online community, so which with AI supported networking opportunities, we mean by that the website. So again, here we have Startup Brussels, which is very welcoming, youthful, and energetic, so especially attracting students, but teachers as well. So, and combining all of our partners, so anybody can learn who is NextEd, what's the innovation to us actually, and all the community programs and events happening right now. And as well with the layer of teams like new designers have, so it can be connected within organization and with new technologies like AI assistants to discover your entrepreneurial type, your co-founder, bestie, or other additional things. So those are really strong ones at the core of our ID. And of course, events, which we already have. So this is just to paint the picture that we don't have to come up with them. We already have them. We just need to bring them together, co-working space. We don't have one defined, but of course we have the lighthouse, and here the new designers, a lot of space for all events and just hanging out with people and learning. For example, we can organize fuck up Fridays like at Utrecht they do, where everybody shares their fuck up stories of how they started business and what were the struggles. So it's really this like cool. So again, we try to make it less formal and just more energetic, more like just to chill and overall inspire each other. We want to inspire, and that's what we try to achieve. So but we don't have to choose one, right? So we can combine them. Yeah, of course we can combine them. So possible futures, there's many. We can have the model which stays regardless with the 4-week online business intro course with startups. So we first start with this, and then you go to our incubator model of developments if you know you want to do entrepreneurship. But that's not the only one. We can also skip the 4-week online course and go and also connect with the events and co-working spaces, or have the community website and teams. So there's this layer of what is the incubator, what are the things happening at our university, and what's the model. And of course, we can combine more than 2, which ideally you want to combine 3, especially the events are already happening, so they just need a place to live, which could be the website, the Teams channel, and the framework. So that's the possible futures. And regardless of how they will connect, at least 2 of them will live and have a really strong foundation here at school to propel innovation forward. And our North Star, so where we heading into the future and where we're right now. So we already did the research. So we did the field research, explored both countries in EdTech, and that's done. That's Q1. Q1 is done already. And right now we are at the beginning of Q2, which is the building phase. So we're going to be developing the framework. So by that time and the community and soft launching Incubator this summer before holiday break. So no worries about that. And that's the idea for this quarter. The next quarter is the idea, if we launch it, is to again improve on the feedback and market it better. So make brochures, posters, make it really well known within our organization and start to have first external partnerships like with the Hague Tech or the Humanity Hub in the Hague. So, and then the growing phase. So we already, by the end of this year, we've expanded. We developed successfully with our framework startups for both students and teachers. We can offer even more, maybe expand to different focus points, and again, have external co-working spaces and regional recognition with our municipality to get sponsored. And at the end of the line, we want to become the go-to place for EdTech and a go-to place for Incubator in The Hague in our region by that time. So that's our North Star. And yes, let's put TUAS Incubator on the map of the Netherlands together. So thank you. So now it's time for questions. So yeah.
Can you give some examples of EdTech? What it is, what the type of things are?
Yes. Yes. So the EdTech. So the EdTech is like the learning platforms. So for example, we can teach people how it could be training programs. It could be certain website applications that foster learning in certain aspects of education. So we have also the whole research done on what are the specific EdTech subgroups in both Netherlands and Belgium that we could aim and are already there. So educational technology overall is for teaching people like Duolingo, but it could be internal tools as well. Yeah.
Yeah, and we already built some Lados with Picting, but it was a platform to learn students how to think critically using film theory, so very specific. We made a platform for them.
But it's often in technology terms, it's websites, web applications.
Yeah.
It can also be physical, so you can have like, let's say at medical students, they have like a physical AI-driven device. It can also be hardware.
Yeah.
The tech is like everything is tech nowadays, so it can be watch, can be size, yeah. So for us, it doesn't matter.
And then in terms, and I'm from the IT department,
Yeah.
so I'm wondering, okay, so where is this going to run, right? And how it's going to interact with the rest of the school and the school's technology.
So it could live as again Teams channel within the SharePoint and of course by itself as a website like new designers have. So people from outside or overall within our university can check it out and see like the events. And we already did that for the Hague network. So they have their own website and we can see what's happening. So it would live online on website, Teams channel.
Sure. You need the integration with, you need to recognize people as students or teachers or things like that. And so you need some level of integration with the rest of the school.
Yeah. So visibly that there is Incubator, like a sign, posters. Yeah.
How does Leiden do it, for example? So if you have a company there that has been started by students.
Yeah.
How are these the relationships? Because you say like 80%, 20% ownership.
So that's ownership. But for example, as you're asking the question, like how people know, LIDA is having always at the beginning of the the school year or semester, the student scouts that just go like and do the 3 minutes pitches at the first classes of every course. That hey, oh, there's like this incubator and you can learn about it here. Join like, so come visit us. So just say like, here, come visit us, talk about it. And yeah, with the ownership, the laydown, to be honest, any incubator I visited, they don't take any ownership. They just take success fees. So for example, if me as a student developed a successful startup that reached, for example, 150,000 euros of the revenue, then I pay them back 1% of this, so like 3,000 euros. And that applies to both in Belgium and here. So they don't take like 20%. It's a lot. Nobody takes that. It's just the success fee bracket. So for 1 million, it's also 1%. And they stop after that. So
So you need integration in that part as well.
yeah.
Money-wise, but also hardware-wise, and in
Yeah.
the beginning, the university has to supply those things, because the students don't have any money, of course.
Yeah.
Or the teachers don't have any money.
Yeah.
And it's already happening, so there's grants of 10,000, 20,000 already given away, and that's being spent, and then it's, the money's gone, the product is there, but there's no integration happening. And that's one of our problems.
So I was wondering, you mentioned, one of the big problems is bureaucracy that you face as an incubator.
Yeah.
And maybe I didn't get it in the story, but how do you plan to address that?
So I guess we can address this while talking with decision makers. Tim has contact to all the people, to a lot of people, so we can try talking about it. And I think that the school can change the rules when they really see that this idea is growing into really something serious. So they can see that, okay, by not taking 100% ownership, they actually can earn more money, because there will be more entrepreneurship and more still money flowing back in, while as opposed to killing it before even starting, as it's happening right now. Yes.
You're talking about 80-20%.
Yeah.
Is that already something that TUAS has said, well, we want 20%?
So that was our brief idea with Rick and Tim, and that we talked about recently, that in order to make any business, like real business, not just internal thing, we need to have this, for example, ongoing ownership. So for example, when you just start out, you have 20% ownership when you're just crafting your idea, but as it's growing, as it's becoming viably successful, you get the most ownership. And this is just the first draft concept. We don't,
because it's already a limitation you build in for potential startups.
Yeah, because
that would be my advice. Skip the whole thing about ownership and support them, because it's already a limitation for startups.
Yeah.
It's a limitation though, but when you're starting, like when you're with the school, like pocket money is funding the business.
Which they don't.
Now they're doing it at the moment, so they're paying 10,000 euros for teachers.
Like
that for teachers.
For that,
but maybe it will change. I mean, Haas is of course paying students.
So for that,
For our own money, not from school.
well, for that case, what I heard, I said, well, maybe you can start by having the university with a higher percentage of ownership, and then gradually, as the business is progressing, you'll let it run on its own and gradually increase the equity the business owner has, to eventually cut loose from school and so forth. But of course, not just
it's ID.
But how do other universities?
This is already done in Delft, so that's the whole program develops. Like that. I was wondering, you say bureaucracy, how does it, how do you see that it's a bureaucratic? That become clear from your presentation.
So the bureaucracy, I think, is like within TUAS, everything needs to go from so many layers. So it's like it's TUAS is at the core big corporation, and of course university. So just like even applying me for the job, there's here at I'm waiting for a contract a long time and switching contracts, etc. So it's all, we know how it works as we work here, like Mila, Tim, and Tim even starting here, the new designers took a long time, a lot of effort to carve out this space, and it's dream come true for Tim. So by itself, the bureaucracy, what we mean is, it's not just the problem that our school is bad. It's just the educational institutions are slow by default, by core, when it comes to implementing anything, because there's a lot of layers. The laws. So as Rick mentioned, in Rotterdam, the medical students developed certain solutions for the nurses at the hospital, for like management of cables, etc. The bureaucracy just put it in the fridge, and it's not touched. It's not tried to be made into like a real product, because again, there will be a lot of things needed to be decided and put into.
So I think what would help if you explain more in your presentation, if you discuss what you exactly mean.
Yeah.
Because with the word bureaucracy, you can do anything.
Yeah.
It's like a complaint, but it's still this is the context in which you are building your business. So
maybe we can add on that. I mean, the main example of Tamagotchi patient, so there were nursing and skincare students wanted to collaborate and create an application, or the teachers wanted to create a place where they could collaborate, because in real life they collaborate.
Yeah.
So we did a whole project with an app and everything. I think we spent maybe 10,000-20,000 euros on the thing. Then it went into the system, and the system said, okay, now the grant is finished. The teachers wanted to create a business out of it. And it was basically a meeting with, I think, maybe 8 or 10 managers. And after that meeting, we said, okay, we want to go further with this. So take ownership, or have a vision, who else have a vision? What should happen now? We created something together with students, co-creation all around. And what happened was that we needed to fill out this form. So they did that. They filled out the form of like an innovation request for grants, and they didn't hear anything back. So it just died out. Then they, of course, asked for more information. And in the end of the day, it was killed because it was not on the agenda. And it was the only email they got about this whole thing. And what happens is that those people just go and entrepreneurship.
this example will help. And don't know if it's bureaucracy or it's just someone who didn't.
It's red tape.
Back to,
What are the actual inhibitors?
Yes, because another thing is, of course, when you look at the institutional plan, it's calculations came first topic. So that would be helpful if you put that in your presentation. It's
Great feedback.
Something is necessary, but then there must be room for innovation for that, meaning with this, because now it's more negatively formulated.
Yeah.
When I try to put myself in the shoes of my colleagues, if they read complaints about bureaucracy, they won't start running for you. So, another thing I have is a question. You mentioned a few spaces, but what I missed, what you used the pictures from it, is the NextEd Hub in Amsterdam, and also Surf with MPAL program, which have a lot of initiatives already. You could also tap into that for public funding or also best practices.
Okay. Yeah.
So, and I believe this is what I mentioned to when we had this online interview. So I miss a lot of activity in Utrecht and Amsterdam in this space. Otherwise, we'll be inventing the wheel here, I think. Well, there's a lot happening. National level, there are millions for these kind of activities. We have our own Center for Teaching and Learning, which is just started. So I think you can add on a few initiatives which are already there.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah. I mean,
just a quick mention about the bureaucracy. If you need like an example, I'm the community manager of the startup here. We support student entrepreneurs like in the first phases. And one of the things that is typically for bureaucracy here is we had removed like a desk that was built in.
Yeah.
And then we had like a large bar table, and that had to be moved like 30 centimeters to the right. Well, they said like, okay, well, we're gonna make like a ticket and it's for someone to come move it like 30 centimeters to the right. Literally. So
Yeah.
I just said, no, we'll keep it here. So then when the people like from internal they were gone, we just with two guys we pushed it over. But like as a community manager, I deal with a lot of these kind of things.
Yeah.
That's like a typical example for you. That's what you might face here also for your incubator.
Yeah. So that's what we meant by bureaucracy. Yes.
I have another question about Zoetermeer, because you mentioned that, well, that there is this tendency in the school to move everything new and innovative to Zoetermeer. And because they have space, there you have still room for creativity and so on. And then you mentioned that you observed or you find a reason to say that in Zoetermeer the environment is not perfect for your incubator.
It's
Whether I agree or not, but I was wondering, why did you come to these results?
So that's from the research paper done by our university. Why it did fail, the enterprise itself. It wasn't saying that Zoetermeer is a horrible place. It was just that the enterprise, which was one incubator.
That's exactly what I'm looking
Yeah.
for. So actually, you read the paper or
Yeah.
notes?
Yeah.
It's a manual for creating your incubator.
Yeah.
It's written in 2018, I think. And
Yeah. It was finished in 2000. That was 2016. It even.
16, yeah. And it mentioned this incubator.
So yes, that was that.
Okay, but so that was in 2018. So like I say, we have to realize that there is a tendency from the school to move everything to the community.
Yeah.
So that's the reality.
There are the businesses as well. So in the same building, there are businesses.
Yeah,
That's the logical.
they are expanding there really, and also
There's behind them, but
Education is
the municipality. Yeah.
Also, it's also nice, but I think you're quite wise in your field observation. That's not a place where you become environmentalist innovation. To me,
The heart of the school is maybe here.
sorry.
The heart of the school.
It's here.
And
Yeah.
teaching is
Most students, right?
here. Yeah.
Yeah.
well, if you ask me, I would say it says enough, because either they go like, oh, there's something new. Well, then you have to move to Zoetermeer. Here we do the usual stuff. That's more important.
Yeah.
But that's changing, yeah. Looking at Haasif, I was at an event last week. Really nice, Rick, what you're doing with the startup. So there's lots of stuff happening here in all living labs, right? So there's a lot of things happening already, also here.
Yeah.
Somehow we're not sharing it
Yeah.
enough or something.
Yeah, it's it's not, yeah, but this view, you may be right, but that's not what I observe.
Yeah.
And there's collaboration possible, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so we don't say that external places are bad, it's actually good, but there's a big tendency for students that they don't have time after classes, or it's far, the cost of transportation.
What would be a problem? I mean, in the end, there you can maybe you have more space. Before you have, as you also said, move the table is already a problem, right? So maybe.
I mean, yeah, but it's big space, but then the marketing sucks, so we would need to really make it
Yeah,
visible.
but we have to work on that.
Yeah.
It's another point. Is when you want to innovate in the Hague won't invest in it.
Yeah, that's exactly, yeah, so it's
Small. This is a picture of the Hague. Lots of.
yeah, so we want to have it
But
in.
you're talking in the slide about the Hague points.
Fast food.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that before it was Hague, and this one is, for example, why they failed to draw the picture that it needs to be here at school because it's the heart. So even though it wasn't in the Hague, because there was no incubator, still is no real incubator in the Hague, the LIDA is moving slowly in, but they're gonna focus on more logistical technology, which again is not fully our focus. So
But maybe it's good to mention, it's a paper that's in the jaarplan. Maybe share a little bit of your vision.
Well, I'm just curious, if we take all this into consideration, by the way, I'm part of this group.
Yeah. That's why you invited. So yeah. So yeah.
And also try to clarify. So, question I had, if I may, what is the real next step you want to take, and what do you need from us, from me, from management, in order to put your feet forward into the future you want to? What is really necessary now? What can you do?
So
Precise and concrete, please.
Think hard, right? Think hard.
yeah, so I think what we need is, I would say, the freedom for students to also get funding. I think that's the clear thing. So it's the freedom to what we make here be able to be created in real business for students and the teachers with funding for students. So I would say funding is really crucial because the space we can use what new designers have here. So we don't have to like demolish some space or make a new space. I think the core problem is just the decision making, the regulations right now when it comes to ownership. So if we could just change that whatever is built here is in full control of the person that made it, and they, for example, pay 10% to us over time, or just success fee, that would change a lot. That would change everything because we can make the framework. We already can make it without anything asking, just for new designers. But the key thing is actually the regulations, as always. So I think that's what we need. We need the change.
And leadership team, I would say, a couple of people that are like leading the incubator, like we're leading new designers. I think that's important. That there are a couple of people that are permanently a coach there.
Yeah.
Or community manager.
Controlling.
Oh, yeah. That's also an idea.
But a holding is perhaps better than a co-ownership, right? Because with co-ownership comes bureaucracy and wanting to understand what the business is doing, etc. I think what you're asking for is a little bit more distance and freedom to do whatever these companies think they need to do.
Yeah, and
some funding and some guidance, etc.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have like AVA holdings, I think we come across, right? So they in Amsterdam, they have a holding and with little holdings underneath it, where they take a certain percentage.
Yeah. Or that is the success fee.
Yeah, and they sponsor, the students own the BV, but they have a holding above it. And if you have 10 holdings and 9 of them fail and 1 of them is very successful, then you can support the holding. Yeah, it's I think it's putting your money where your mouth is, basically, for the management of TUAS. They have to say, okay, how serious is this idea of an incubator, and do we really want to pursue it? If not, then not. Yeah. But if yes, then
yes. You invited me to elaborate a bit more on the plans or whatever, but plans don't have reality. I mean, we're really supportive this, that you have ample space to have some entrepreneurship. That's what you're asking for, and then you create a reality.
Yeah.
Sometimes you cross into boundaries, or you're crossing boundaries. What the hell? I don't care, because something is happening, and then some energy gets released. And you know, a lot of regulations form after the sin has been done. You know, so please don't fall.
Yeah.
But we are living proof of that. Experimentation, so I really believe in that as well. You're suggesting doing the same thing with
absolutely. Yes, and I can get, of course, it must be dependent on me or whoever. You take the lead. So you feel some sort of ownership, and sometimes you get lonely. And you go, I don't get any further than this. And then there are people around you in this large community of TUAS that can help. And there are a lot of people who can't help, but who want to, but they're just not competent enough, or they're uninterested, or they have no time, or whatever. But there is always somebody who can help, even in this community. I'm sure about that. Well, Tim can tell about that.
No, I mean, in the end of the day, it's really nice to have this
piece of paper that has like the terms and conditions on it,
Yeah,
and says, okay, we are this thing
Mm.
inside to us, and it means this. I think that's something we can start with, but in the end of the day, it needs to be carried by the organization. And especially when you're talking about businesses, so these students are becoming entrepreneurs, us teaching them the mindset to have while being an entrepreneur, and then they have their businesses, and then what? So we support them, we give them the opportunity to grow, and then what happens next? So are you just going to say good luck and we'll close the door, or do you have a sustainable relationship with them on the long run?
The latter, and that's the whole point where Theo's referring to. If you connect to the instellingsplan, well, there you have the plan. If you connect to co-creation, this is the way you want to upload it.
Yeah.
So who can say no to that? I'm really optimistic about this.
Yeah, we're going to continue. And
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. For you.
Yeah.
No,
So-
and maybe last thing, you mentioned like a special focus on edtech.
Yeah.
But also support students or teachers that focus on other sectors.
Yeah, definitely. So it's just like Utrecht does three main things. We can also do main three things. EdTech is just this like focal point for now, because that's what we've noticed. Tim noticed a lot of people, teachers come in and want to do some educational solution. But of course, students probably have a variety, but of course, we can't do hardware or engineering. What we can do is digital products. So anything, I think, in that realm is viable for us. So,
yeah, and the 5-week bootcamp can be anything. Also say like there your idea is born, and then if you want to incubate it, you can see if they're fit. Should be like a checkpoint. Is it validated? Yes. Are you suited with the correct mindset? Then let's go into the bigger project. But at that, I think the reason also is like if you have focus, then you also specialize your more.
Yeah. So we can tailor the guidance and the experts to facilitate and may propel those ideas faster, as opposed when you have a general one incubator, you don't have a focuser, you don't have really experts, for example, for this kind of technology or this kind of industry to help. So having at least one focus or two focuses and a little bit of generalism, it's the way to go.
So, for example, from a startup, we have a couple of student entrepreneurs currently.
Yeah.
One of them is working on an anti-aging cream, for example, that fosters and that becomes larger, and the startup may be then small for them and they need to grow to an incubator. Like, what can you do?
Of course, this is more like a real product, the anti-aging cream. So we don't have specialists, for example, from the medicine. But
it's like most of the ideas I'm seeing, coming from students' ideas are either in a process or either physical. Some focus on software.
Yeah.
Like it would be great if the incubator here could be like the next step from next startup. People walk in, hey, I have this idea. Can you coach me? Really?
Yeah, that's also
really
viable.
And get me further and get my idea straight.
Yeah.
When it's going.
So there's also no problem to collaborate with other incubators like Lida. So we could be like this also EdTech focused. We full develop, but we can also propel the ideas that come up here that are also a little bit maybe hardware or medical, just by the concept itself to help them like develop, get it somehow rounded up, tested, validated, and then we can, for example, send them over to Lida to fully develop. The Utrecht and Lida and all incubators collaborate a bit with each other and they know about each other. So it's also not a problem to do that too. So as you say, yes, we could be this starting point at least as a service also.
But that's why we also have this demo to share these. So your lead is to have this more generic solution.
Yeah.
So we can still pivot. I mean, it's just a pitch.
Yeah.
I like the model that you showed with all the aspects of what an incubator could be and all the things that need to be done to learn and to have a business.
Yeah.
So really like developing this model further and also using this model as a central thing to make the proposition of incubation.
Yeah.
And it's student run, so I think that both things like the model and the student runness, that make it unique as well.
Yeah.
Because the idea is that not a lot of coaches, but all students helping students. And that's what's happening here at the moment. And then you can grow really quickly. And then you maybe can support more generic startups as well. That's just, experienced student entrepreneurs help beginning student entrepreneurs. I don't know.
Yeah.
But this is not only for EdTech.
No. It's not only for tech.
That's anything here.
Yeah, it's the idea.
But it's good to specialize, and I think we're not yet 100% sure. Maybe we should have a voting.
Yeah.
I think it has two sides, right?
Yeah, of course. But it's not a problem to be focused on EdTech and offer also general support.
Yeah.
So
what's your process now? Like validating these concepts and all these ideas that are floating around. What are your next steps?
So
a lot of options for combining the concepts.
Yeah, so the next step is definitely further thinking about this model and validating this, because we need to understand if it really can work. It's really the theory for now that we need to pilot. So I think the next step would be think about with our team about it, if this is viable, ask people, talk about it to people. Then, for example, maybe find like a pilot project that we could run it on. So then we could have it validated really, if this makes sense. And so for now, the next step is with the framework, and then the next part of the cycle, for example, is the digital layer, so the teams and branding website itself. But it could be also the whole cycle will be just to this, which is probably very likely. So that's
each thing can be educational material, basically, right?
Yeah.
How do you guide someone through the mindsets?
So the 4-week online program itself. So we need to choose the focus and talk with partners as well. What makes the most sense next cycle?
So we're developing this using ShapeUp, and it's a new way of working. It's like a variation of Scrum. It's a little bit different. Maybe we will share the space. So working together in a tool called Basecamp, we have an educational license. It's very interesting for you, or if you're interested in working methods. Then,
so that's our planning. It's quite broad, but basically we already finished cycle 1 with today, so amazing. We settled on market research and overall who we are, our business model, and the next cycle is about the framework. So this week, for example, we're gonna spend just for planning and knowing where are we going and what needs focus next. And it's the idea is of course framework. Then I have holiday break, and then we have the website branding for the incubator. And that's very optimistic. Of course, it could be this whole cycle framework itself, and this another cycle, the branding, and we can have a 4th one, which is also very likely because we're finishing 24th of May. So that's really early because we're going very fast. So we could have like till the end of June, 4th one with actually developing. So that's the idea.
so if you have any input you want in the cycle, let us know.
Or if you want to join, we can host this week another session if you have time, for coming up with ideas for voting. What is the ideal next focus, or so something like that.
Online forum where people vote.
Online forum, something like that.
That's an idea.
So that's the next step. That's the today and the future of the to us.
And the next demo will be April.
No, that's May, April. Yes. So that's something like thing like the end of April, something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everybody will get an invite for that as well.
Yeah. So we're gonna probably plan it in this week, so you can stay tuned for that. So yeah.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Ja,